it's hard for me to explain this, but I want to clarify something that, for me and the way I believe and what I feel, I really and truly, honest to goodness, I really do not think for myself that I'm better than any person on the planet. You can point out anybody, we can go to the mall right now. I don't think I'm better mentally, physically, or spiritually than anyone you can ever point out, ever. I don't. I'm saying that straight up honest. I'm not looking away, I'm looking right. I promise. I don't think I'm better. But what I do feel like, I feel like any human can do or obtain anything if they're dedicated. I live and die by this statement. All men are created equal. What separates all men from each other is the distance they are willing to go. Okay? So the one thing that I feel is different from anybody else is the distance I'm willing to go. That's where I see the difference. But you kind of have to be obsessive and be willing to put it all on the line to kind of get to that dedication mindset. And I'm not saying you can't get there, but for me personally, I would be willing to put it all on the line tonight, all of it, if like my life, literally my life on the line tonight, if I had the opportunity or the chance to be where I wanted to as far as my goals or success, or to get to have a huge leap or a huge step. But I understand though that it's always baby steps that gets you there. But constantly, knocking on the door, just hitting, knocking on the wall, just keep pounding until you get past that wall or knock it down. And I understand that. But I'm always willing to put it all on the line, whether it's money, time, effort, tears, blood, sweat. I'm always willing. But sometimes willing's not enough. You got to do. You have to take action. Action speak louder than words. Always. I always believe that. So I just want to say I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I know that I'm more dedicated. And I'm not saying that you can't be that way too. You can totally be that way. But I will tell you, it does. There are times where fear can get in the way because you're like, if I keep going at this rate, is my health gonna, be, jeopardized or anything like that? I do feel like that sometimes, but I mean, at the same time, that's how hard that's how bad I want it. Sometimes I'm like, man, this is tough on my body. I don't know if I could do this. If I was like 35 or 40, and I probably couldn't. But some of the stuff I do is just ridiculous. Like, it's just like, I mean, I don't know if everyone could, live off 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep, consistently for like, a week's period. Sometimes not even sleeping at all. I mean, like, I'm really doing that. It's hard. And it's just like, if you could do that, you could do anything. Anything you wanted. And if you could think outside the box, you could do anything. You could be anything you wanted. So I'm not saying you can't be happy, because ultimately success is, what you think personally makes you happy and makes you fulfilled. But again, I just want to say this, that if you knew you could do anything, regardless of saying, oh, well, this makes me happy, but if you could do anything and failure was not an option, if failure wasn't on the table and you could do absolutely anything you wanted, period, it has nothing to do with the money, where you are on the planet, and what you're doing. There's no option, no time format or anything like that. No, you're not bonded by anybody else. If you could do anything, what would you do? Because I feel like that's the one thing that's the question. That, I mean, like, if you were free from everything, that's where I want to be. No debt, no nothing. Like, there's nothing, no ties to anything. There is nothing that I'm bounded by this time, space. Just nothing is holding me back from being the best I could be. Now, the best at what? It's left to be determined by me. But again, it's just like, it's more so just being free. Just kind of like, that's the goal, and that's the, the ultimate place that I want to be, because when you're free, your time is free. It's like, You don't have to work. For what? To pay bills? What bills? Those don't exist. You know, and you live outside the system, and you can develop passive income. You can develop semi-passive income to where your stuff is all, it's wiped clean. You don't have that stuff. You don't have all these things like a mortgage, a car payment, nothing. Those don't exist. We as Americans just have nice things because we can. It's allowed us to do that. But again, the best position ever is to not have those things, that those constant residual like payments that come out of us, because they cause stress. They cause fear. Because if your income sources get cut off, what happens? You panic. And especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. The first thing you're doing is, how am I going to pay my bills? But I'm telling you, you know, finances are big, but I'm telling you, if you can get to a place where those aren't there, I mean, what? That's a great feeling. I can imagine being in a place like that. Is just got to be like, it's got to be awesome. And that's the goal. Like, it just like, because you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. You can. You don't have to. I probably still would, but I mean, again, you don't have to do, work, 50, 60 hours, 70 hours a week to make ends meet, or to feed, your family or whatever. You don't have to do that when you're free. Okay? So that's the ultimate goal that I want. And I think that anyone is capable of doing anything. If you want to get it, go after it. Take it. Everything is right there for you. In this world, everything is right there for you. You can't let fear hold you back. Analysis paralysis, you can't let that hold you back. It's just like, you have to take action. Action is essential for your success. You must take action.